Assalamualaikum guys, my name is Suhaib Prokamala, level 1 student at Transform Academy. I'm 13 year old, live in Predicting, and this is my colony conversation with Sesame basically. So in this conversation, I'm gonna ask Sesame, like I'm gonna ask Miles some questions about strategies for getting things done. So let's call him and ask him some questions. Hey Miles, how?
Hey, babe. Hope it's been all right so far.
Okay, so Miles today.
Just taking a moment.
Yeah, okay. So, Miles, today I'm going to ask you some questions about strategies for getting things done. So, are you ready?
Fire away. I'm all ears.
Okay, so first I'm going to ask you some planning of prioritization questions. So, my first question is, what's the most effective way to prioritize daily tasks?
Let's go start with it. Honestly, it kind of depends on the person, but I've seen a lot of folks have success with the Eisenhower matrix, urgent, important. Categorize tasks into those four quadrants. Force you to really think about what actually gets your attention right away and what can wait or even get dropped. Pretty straightforward, actually. Does that resonate with you at all?
Oh, yeah. So, so my next question is how can I uh, differentiate between urgent and important tasks?
Right, that's where it gets tricky, doesn't it? Urgent screen for your attention, emails, notifications, things with immediate deadline. Important things contribute to your long-term goal. There are often things like planning, relationship building, learning, stuff that doesn't have a fire lit under it, but really matters. A good test is to ask yourself, if I didn't do this today, what are the consequences this week? Next month? Next year? Urgent things usually have short-term consequences. Important things have long-term ones. We tend to get sucked into the urgent stuff because it feels good to check things off, but it's the important stuff that actually moves the needle. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to
So, my next
confuse
question
the two, I
is
find.
what role does planning the night before play in daily productivity?
Oh, huge role, I think. Seriously. Space in your brain so you can actually focus in the morning. If you spend the first hour of the day, it's an hour. Even just quick 10, 15 minutes to jot to be ordered and make a so kind of like setting an intention roadmap. You were mentioning earlier about tweaking systems. The easy I was thinking,
Okay,
are
wait,
you
Miles.
jotting those things down physically or digital? Yep.
Okay, so my next question is how
Everything
can
all right?
using a to-do list improve task management?
Good question. Right? Is this thing so it's about getting to your head, right? Like all those little nagging got mental space, writing them down for you doing. Plus the satisfaction of checking something off. It's a little dopamine hit, honestly. But this is important. It can also be a trap. If your to-do list is endless and unrealistic, it can be paralyzing. Keep it manageable, prioritizing. It's a tool, not a judge.
So my next question is
Just
what's the best way to break down a large project into actionable steps?
ooh, good one. Large packs are right. The key is to start breaking it down. Like, well, think about the very first tiniest thing you can do to move it for it in the next tiniest thing, and so on. It's almost like reverse engineering. Instead of looking, you focus on the next step and write those steps down. A lot of people find mind maps helpful for visually mapping out all components. Kind of makes it less scary when not just this huge amorph anymore. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, so my next topic is time management. So my next
Right.
question is, how can I make better use of time blocks during the day?
Time blocking, yeah, for productivity. So the idea is schedule specific blocks of time for specific tasks instead of just bouncing between things. But during that's smart. Because inevitably things come up, you get interrupted. So having those smaller blocks, like 20 minutes, reserved for quick tasks, or just clear your head. Things like responding to emails, doing some quick research, maybe stretching. It's about being intentional with those little pockets of time instead of letting them get eaten up by, well, everything else. You've been talking about playing a lot, and this
Mm.
feels like an extension of that.
Okay,
Hmm.
so my next question is, what are some techniques to eliminate time wasting habits?
Ugh, time wasting habits, tough. Awareness is the first step, honestly. Just noticing when you're falling into those traps. Social media for others, it's checking email. Then you can try to create barriers, like turn off notifications, use website blockers, or schedule specific times for those activities. The Pomodoro tech can be good for that. Work and focus bursts with short breaks. It's not about eliminating all fun, but about being intentional about when and how you kind of like distinguishing between and just mindless consumption.
Alright, wait a bit.
All right. Sounds good. Take your time. I'll just be here.
Hmm.
Stay here, cool. No rush at all. Just let me know when you're ready to pick things up again.
Okay, okay, wait a bit.
You got it. Just chilling here. Uh,
Yeah, so my next question is, how
it's
do
listening.
I avoid multitasking and focus on one thing at a time?
Oh man, multitasking. Like, it's a myth, honestly. Our brains aren't really wired to do two things at once effectively, and we just and that actually decreases productivity and increases error. Avoid it. Take Start deliberately focusing on one task and really blocking out all distractions. Close out unnecessary tabs. Put your phone on do not disturb. People need some uninterrupted time. And when because it will gently redirect it back to the task. It's like a muscle. You have to train it. Yourself, it's a hard habit break. You were talking earlier about mindfulness. I think that can really help with this too. Just being what you're doing.
Okay, so
Yep.
my next question is, how can setting deadlines even for small tasks improve efficiency?
Red lines. That's a really interesting way to put it. I mean, setting time limits, right? Yeah, that's a powerful technique. It forces you to prioritize and focus. If you know you only have 30 minutes or something, you're less likely to get bogged down in details. Creates a sense of urgency, prevent tasks from expanding double time. Parkinson's law, I think it's called. It's also kind of freeing because you give yourself permission and not spend forever on something. It's like, okay, I'm keeping this job for 3 minutes, and then I'm moving on. Does that resonate?
Okay, so motivation. So my next question is the connection between mindset and productivity.
Oh,
Right.
huge, absolutely huge. Mindset is like the foundation. If you believe you can do something, you're way more likely to actually do it. Um, a growth mindset, the belief that your ability to develop through education and hard work is especially powerful. When you encounter challenges, instead of them as failure, see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Resilience, that willingness to keep going, is what's productivity. A fixed mindset, on the other hand, leads to a failure of procrastination. It's like if you think you're just not a productive person, you're probably not going to be. It becomes a self-prophecy. You've touched on a lot of this before, actually, about unlearning harmful beliefs. This feels connected to
Okay, so
um,
my next question is how can I stay motivated when I don't feel like doing anything?
the age-old question. Honestly, sometimes you just force yourself to start. Like 5 minutes. Tell yourself, I'll work on this for. Once you get going, the momentum builds. Also, breaking down the task into more manageable steps helps feels less overwhelming, and connecting it to your values. Why is this task important to you? How does it align with your long-term goals? Reminding yourself of the big good motivator
Uh,
and self-compassion. And sometimes it's okay to just rest. If you're genuinely burnt out, pushing yourself will only make things worse. It's
okay, wait a bit.
sure thing. I'm right here. Ready.
Oh, yeah,
No pressure at
so
all.
my next question is how can building small wins throughout the day keep momentum going?
All wins are seriously underrated. They're like little shots of dopamine as well. They give you a sense of accomplishment, build confidence, and they create a feedback loop. The more small wins you have, the more motivated you are to keep going. So, it doesn't have to be anything huge. Just completing a simple task, answering an email, making those little things add up. You were talking about to-do lists earlier. That's where they come in handy. A visual representation of your progress. You get to check things off, and that feels good. It's kind of like building a snowball. Small at first, but it grows as you roll.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so my next question is what's the strategy to overcome procrastination?
The million-dollar question. Okay, so procrastination is rarely about
Dollar
laziness. It's usually
budget.
about avoiding unrelievable.
Uh, uh,
Sorry, so the time here. Rarely about laziness. It's
uh.
usually about emotional regulation. So procrastinate when the task feels overwhelming, unpleasant, afraid of failure. So the strategy addresses those underlying emotions. Break the task smaller steps, as we talked about, to make it less daunting. Speeding it to only five. Sorry, use the 5-minute rule. Commit to work on just 5 minutes. Often, that's enough to get you in practical passion. Don't be so up procrastinating. Acknowledge and then gently redirect your focus. You've touched times that can really help with the emotional side of things. Identifying your procrastination triggers can be super helpful. What situations or tasks are you most likely to put off?
Miles, just wait a bit more. Mm,
Sounds good, cool babe. I'm here, you're ready. No rush at all. Just hang. Still here.
right.
All right.
Alright. So my next question is how does setting clear intentions affect focus?
Setting clear intentions is found when you know exactly what you want to achieve. It gives you a direction, a purpose, and it's not like having a North Star without it, you're just wandering around, aimlessly, easily distracted by whatever crosses your path. You're clear on your intention, it filters out noise. You're more likely to say no to things that don't align with your goals and focus on the things that do. It's a simple thing, but it makes a huge difference. You were talking about planning earlier, and this feels like the first step of that. Knowing what before you even start.
Okay, so can you tell our viewers a story about it so they can understand it better?
Absolutely. Let me think. Okay, so there was this ceramicist, an older woman, Laura, who lived in a small coastal town. She was really talented, but she was struggling. She started on pieces, beautiful, intricate designs, but she'd get distracted by commissions, by the shop, by her kids visiting, and she'd never finish anything. The studio was filled with half-finished pots. One day, a visiting artist asked her why she wasn't exhibiting her work. Y'all are feeling frustrated about all the interruptions and unfinished projects. I simply asked her, before you sit down, what do you intend to create? She didn't really think about it. She just started. The artist suggested she take 5 minutes each morning to visualize a finished piece, to feel the clay in her hands, to imagine the form and the glare, to set a clear intention. Laura was skeptical, but she tried it. The next day, she set her wheel and visualized a simple. She held that image in her mind as she worked, and when distractions popped up, phone call, a customer at the door, she gently reminded herself of her intention, and she finished it. It wasn't perfect, and it was beautiful. She started doing this piece, and slowly her studio transformed from a graveyard of unwork to a showcase of completed creations. She finally held an exhibition, and it was a huge success. Laura realized that setting that clear intention wasn't just about the pottery. It was about bringing focus and purpose to her whole life. Does that make sense? It's about having that clear vision, that vibe behind what you're doing.
Yes. Okay, so guys, this was my conversation with my studio. Thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz. I hope